Once upon a time, a guy approached a Buddhist monk and begged for assistance. "I'm quite unhappy with my life. I'm unsure of what to do." The man began to cry after saying this. His mother comforted him, saying, "My friend, tell me in detail what's wrong." The man started out by sharing a depressing tale, saying, "Sir, I live in the man of my village, and I would lend money to anyone who came to me for money. But when it was time to return the money, people would start to make excuses and did not return my money. I recently got married, and at that time I never kept anything from my wife. My wife still did not respect me despite the fact that I had told her everything about my background, and would continue to do so. She and I got into a major argument one day. My wife became even more irate and fled the house when I asked my neighbors to act as mediators between me and her. I often had the impression that while people admired me in front of me, they were making fun of me in private. My business is currently doing really poorly, and my wife has also left me, making me a laughing figure in my community where others take advantage of my compulsions." After listening to the man, the monk paused to consider his next move before saying, "The Buddhist monk began speaking. My friend, the reason behind your plea is that you are very innocent, and you tell others even those things which you should never reveal to anyone. Therefore today I will tell you about 7 things which you should never reveal to anyone." The man listened carefully as the monk began. "The first thing you should never tell anyone is about your sorrow and helplessness, because it has been seen that whenever there is any sorrow in our lives, we start shaking our heads and crying. If you do this, the majority of people won't help you and will definitely tease you behind your back. If someone does help you, he will expect even more help from you in return. And if you are unable to provide it, he will become angry with you. If, by mistake, you share your issue with any of your enemies, they will take advantage of your helplessness because they will know that you are currently weak and helpless, and that this is the ideal time to take revenge. Additionally, while handing someone money, try to read their minds, because if you could learn what they were thinking and avoid a lot of unpleasant situations. Your previous sins and future aspirations, according to the monk, are the second item you should never discuss with others. Whatever error you may have committed in the past, you must never disclose it to others. Rectify your past faults by telling others about them, rather than letting them make you the target of mockery. Once people find out about your prior mistakes, they'll start making fun of you behind your back. You should avoid discussing your future plans with others because doing so has 2 major drawbacks. First, when you start talking about your future goals, people start to praise you for them, which will damage your reputation in society. Second, even though you have improved in your life, people will still associate you with your past mistakes, and they will lose trust in you. The second drawback is that when you reveal your future plans to others, they begin to feel envious of you from the inside out and begin to wish for your failure. As a result, you should never reveal your future plans to others and should instead keep them a secret. You should only reveal them once you have accomplished your goal. The monk continued, "Your household matters are the third item you should never discuss with anyone. You should keep any information pertaining to your home, your family's activities at home, or your relationship with your life partner private. Every house has numerous little fights, but domestic disputes should never be brought to the outside world. After a minor quarrel or fight at home, we frequently begin discussing domestic issues with others. We begin to criticize our family members in front of others, but we fail to realize that the person listening to us could make them feel humiliated. People will have the opportunity to learn about our household troubles in the future when we start discussing them in public. They may also decide to take advantage of our domestic conflict. In addition, our relationship with our family members will deteriorate further if they find out that we have discussed family issues with others and have been critical of them. As a result, the monk advised against discussing family issues with others. The fourth thing you should never disclose to anyone is your areas of strength and weakness. There are 2 basic justifications for keeping your weaknesses and strengths a secret. The first is that if your adversary knew about your strengths, strength, they would find a means to undermine it, making it no longer be your strength. Similar to this, if you revealed your weaknesses to others, they will start exploiting them and may use them as leverage against you in the future. As a result, you will always be under their control and must submit to them. Even a husband and wife should never reveal their weaknesses to one another because they may occasionally exploit each other's weaknesses, and the person whose weaknesses are revealed to the other will have to submit to the other. There are primarily two reasons for keeping your income a secret from others. The first is that if your friends and family find out that you make a good living, they will first become envious of you and start asking you for loans. If you grant them one, they will be reluctant to return it because they believe that you make enough money and have sufficient savings to make you a good risk. However, if your income is low and your friends and family find out, they will not respect you as much, making fun of it behind your back and refusing to lend you money when you need it because they believe you won't be able to pay them back. This will damage your relationships with them and prevent you from receiving the respect you deserve in society, so it is best to keep it a secret. Then the monk said, "The sixth thing you should never tell anyone is about your humiliation. If you have ever been humiliated in the past for any reason, you should never tell about it to anyone, not even your life partner. At the time, they might speak in your favor, but later they will keep on taunting you about that insult repeatedly, and if other people found out about your insult in the past, they can anytime humiliate you by doing things like teasing you about it. Therefore, if you have ever been humiliated, you should never tell anyone about it." The monk continued, "Seventh and last, you should never tell anyone about your fans and enemies. Although most people are not concerned with this information, it is still sensitive and should not be shared with anyone because those who wish you harm could take advantage of it if your enemies learned it." After saying that, the Buddhist monk went into silence before saying, "My friend, if you take care of these 7 things and never reveal them to anyone, then surely you will be able to live a happy and respected life in society. Similar to how, if your friends know who are your enemies, and if in the future you had a fight with your friends, then they can join forces with your enemies and harm you." The man was weeping tears of regret as he realized what a terrible mistake it was to reveal all of his secrets to others. Realizing how much it had cost him in terms of suffering, and how everyone now saw him as full in the eyes of the monk, he made the decision that he would never make the same mistake again and would never reveal these 7 things to anyone. He then bowed to the monk and walked away. So, if you can stop sharing these 7 sensitive things with others, you too can live a secure, happy, and respected life. These are the 7 sensitive things that you should never share with others.